tonight in Orlando. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks muscled their way past the pesky Magic, taking control in the third quarter and not looking back. Knicks playing excellent defense. The Magic held to 85 points. That ties for the Knicks' best defensive effort of the year. Mikal Bridges a steal and 2 of his 17. And the Knicks in Orlando beat the Magic 108-85. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Wally Zerbiak. So, Wally, the Knicks have won 6 in a row. They're 16-4 in their last 20, and they're finding different ways to win games. 15 threes attempted for the Knicks. That's the low for any team in the entire league all year, and yet they won easily.
Take what the defense gives you. That's what great teams do. That's what you don't just play a system to try to beat someone from the three-point line. If the defense is taking away the threes, shoot 61% from the twos in the first half. That's what the Knicks did. Then completely suffocate the Orlando Magic, who are very undermanned. They could not find scoring. And then in that third quarter, the Knicks just dominated that third quarter, only giving up 14 points. I mean, this Magic team has Jalen Suggs, he's a bona fide starter, and then most of the other guys are role players. And as a result, it's tough to play for 48 minutes against a really good Knicks team, and you saw that the Magic completely ran out of gas in the second half.
Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, Orlando's top 2 players, both out. They've been out long term, but Orlando puts forth maximum effort night in and night out. They just couldn't score, and they really couldn't get anything going. As you mentioned, Wally, in the third quarter, it was tight at the half. Knicks blew it wide open after that.
Yeah, it was a very grindish type game. It was almost like the Knicks couldn't get those couple buckets to get a little bit of separation, but you just felt like once they played like themselves, which they did in that third quarter, and a couple shots would go down, and they got themselves to a 5-8 point lead. That Achua putback made it a 2-point game, that Orlando was just going to fall apart. And that's exactly what happened. Jalen Brunson just doing his thing, master of the mid-range all night long. When the Knicks got those stops, I alluded to only 14 points in the third quarter for the Magic. It led to runouts, it led to buckets, the lead's starting to swell. 5 right now. How about beast mode? Jalen Brunson gets that one to go, flexes at the official and the fans. 9-point lead at this point. And then Josh Hart, he was all over the place in that third quarter. Josh Hart saying, hey, you think you play hard, Orlando Magic? I'm the hardest playing guy on the court, and he showed it tonight.
All right, again, the Knicks only 15 threes attempted, 34 free throws attempted, a season high for the Knicks. They only made 24 of those, but they capitalized nonetheless. And look at points in the paint, 60 for the Knicks, 34 for Orlando. We're now bringing Alan Hahn, help call the game with Kenny down in Orlando. Alan, what's your headline here? How about the Knicks? We've talked about it. You and Kenny talked about it. Only 15 threes attempted. That's the fewest for any team in any game all year, and yet the Knicks won easily.
Yeah, my headline would be, who said they take too many threes in the NBA? It's not the only way you can win. The Knicks proved that certainly tonight. They were running them off the line. The Magic knew that he cannot let this team get up threes. We see what the Knicks can do when they make 12 or more threes in a game. Their record is like 17-3 this season. So you wouldn't let them do that. So the Knicks said, okay, fine, we'll take it into the paint. We'll do that with you. Then they start drawing fouls because that's what the Magic do. Knicks got to the free throw line, 34 free throw attempts. Bit of a struggle. From the free throw line for sure, but getting there was important. But I'm also talking about the defense, guys, in that third quarter, because the Knicks really turned it up defensively and really started creating those turnovers. And what they did with them is the story of the game. 24 points off 17 Orlando Magic turnovers and 19 fast break points. So when they were getting the rebound, they were running, because this team played last night. And while you know the Magic play hard, there's only so much gas in the tank in a back-to-back, and the Knicks will certainly learn that tomorrow night in Washington.
Alan, let's talk about the most important stat on this stat sheet. Now the Knicks are 21-10, and Orlando is 19-14, 4 games behind the Knicks in the loss column. This is a team that was off to a great start to start the season. Everyone was thinking the Magic are going to be the new team that's going to be competing for the playoffs. Obviously very injury-ridden right now, but you can't feel sorry for these guys. You got to continue to put them in your rearview mirror.
They're playing him maybe at the right time of year, right, Wally, when you consider that they saw him 3 times this month and they get 3 wins. So you already have the season series in your pocket in case there's any kind of tiebreakers. I was saying this to one of the Magic people before the game, is that this is going to be a team that when they get healthy with Banchero back and the Wagner brothers back, they will not be a team anybody wants to play, because you see how hard they play and what they do. And they get those 2 All-Stars back, forget about it. So late in the season, certainly a team to watch, but for the Knicks, don't have to worry about it because they are very much in the rearview mirror.
All right, Alan, we'll see you tomorrow night in Washington. You going to take care of me or what? You going to take care of me?
I'm looking for you when you get in. You owe me lunch.
That's not true. That's not true at all. We'll sort that out tomorrow. We'll see you down in D.C. Josh Hart, what a game.
What a performance.
23 points, 13 rebounds, 7 rebounds alone in that third quarter.
Season high, 23 points. He was all over the place. And I think he really took this game personally. He sees how Orlando Magic is known as this gritty, grindy, defensive, kind of physical type team. And Josh Hart just said, this is my kind of game. Look at that look. He's looking at the official like, seriously? I mean, Josh Hart was getting knocked around. He was on the ground just as much as Jalen Suggs. And Josh Hart loves that type of game. Officials, I thought, did a great job of keeping this game clean, because Orlando can get called for a foul every time down the floor. But I thought the officials really made the right calls at the right time. They cleaned this game up very well. And they allowed Josh Hart to play with his emotion, his energy, his physicality. This is the type of player that the Knicks need on their squad. You need a guy that's going to impose their will physically and match the other team's intensity when teams like this come in. And a guy like Josh Hart, the way he plays, it's so crucial in playoff-type moments and atmospheres, because that's how you win playoff-type caliber games against playoff teams like the Magic, with physicality.